Today, I want to talk to you about one of the most horrible legends of British culture. It is a story that will make your blood run cold. It's a story of death, of murder, of fear and greed. All the worst things that humans are capable of, we're going to find out for the next hour. You'll never visit a hairdresser's again. You might never leave your house ever again. Don't get too scared. Some of you might have heard of him because there was a very famous film about 3 years ago with Johnny Depp, Sweeney Todd, and there was a famous musical called Sweeny Todd. And the musical was devised in 1979. We have to travel back in our time machine of fun back to the year 1740. This is the height of the Georgian period, and London was a very different city, as it was, as you can imagine, to what it is now. It is the biggest city on the planet. It is also the dirtiest, the smelliest, the most disgusting. The streets are filthy. They're just filled with animal waste and human waste, and the stink of it was disgusting. People are spitting everywhere, people are going to the toilet in the street. You know, there's just no sense of anything. It's a very cruel society. If you don't have any money, it's a very difficult life for you. It's pretty awful. The Industrial Revolution has transformed Britain, and has transformed Britain into the centre of the world, the centre of the British Empire. For 50 years leading up to this date, suddenly you have factories, you have manufacturing, you have huge things and chimneys belching out smoke, but also hundreds of thousands of people working suddenly in factories. Britain has changed from a farming country, where pretty much farming is the only industry, to a country that is a powerhouse of industry. A country that's producing goods to be sold and shipped around the world, that's taking in goods from all around the world, taking them to London. Dirty, disgusting, filthy, smelly, disease-ridden, and also pretty lawless. If you're a criminal in London at this time, it's great. Love it. Into this horrible world comes another problem. Gin. Do we like a gin and tonic? Do we like a gin and tonic? Friday afternoon gin and tonic. Lovely, lovely glass, bit of lemon or lime, you know. Very different to the gin they were drinking in the 17th century. Gin is a new drink. It comes from the Netherlands. It comes to England in about 1740. It's very popular very quickly for one reason alone. It gets you blind drunk instantly. It's like, you know. And if you have no money, if you have no belongings, if your family has died, then maybe all you want to do is just get absolutely drunk. And gin becomes like crack cocaine, seriously. By 1749, each Londoner, each person in London is drinking about 63 litres of gin a year. We're talking big, big gin. I don't know if this is gin, by the way. I don't know if hero is the right word. But Sweeney is born, we don't know of the exact date, but he's born in very poor conditions. His family are from Stepney, which is in the east of London, just a bit further east from the Tower of London. They have no money. His parents are gin drinkers. You know, poor Sweeney's probably abused as a child. And one night, in the very cold winter of 1749, a freezing cold winter, his parents go out, disappear. At some point, he commits a crime and ends up in Newgate prison. In Newgate, Sweeney becomes the assistant of a barber in the prison. He also, while in prison, develops some engineering skills. Not only is he a very skilled barber, he's also quite a skilled engineer, and he's a great thief by this point. Sweeney is released from prison, as I said, and he very quickly sets himself up as a barber surgeon. Also, when he's discovering his barber shop, discovers something else which is very interesting for him. The crypts are the big rooms you get under a church. They're usually filled with coffins or maybe wine, depending on the vicar. But you know what I mean? You've seen the horror films, you know, these big spooky places. Sweeney finds a huge one right next door to the basement of his barber shop. This is going to become important. With the engineering skills he finds it in prison, he then constructs himself a device for killing people, basically. His plan is to, while you're having a shave, he will kill you, steal your money, chop your body up, and then dump you in the crypt downstairs. You will never leave Sweeney's shop alive. You'd have a great shave, though. Never mind.